All right, hey guys, and welcome to a review of Kate. I also recently watched this film not too long before I think I watched Halloween because this one came out a little earlier, if I'm not mistaken. Regardless, this was a pretty interesting movie. Is this really Mary Elizabeth Winstead just soloing an entire film by herself? Of course, she has some pretty interesting support casts, such as Woody Allen, Tadanobu Asano, and some new girl who I'm not really familiar with. I know this guy. His name is apparently Michael. Sorry, I'm sorry. Sorry, man. You're pretty cool in the film as well, but I have no idea how to pronounce your name. But I am familiar with Tadanobu Asano and Woody Harrelson, who are both very good actors. However, they played a very small role in what is mostly carried by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and she does kick ass. She's really really cool in this film. And they try to have a little bit of SJW talks between the two of them, like, oh, it's so cool that a girl can do this, a girl can do that, a girl has to do this, a girl has to do that. All your basic stuff, but we don't care for that. We want to see what is so special about this person, an agent who is basically a super spy or assassin, if you would say so, because I don't really see her do much spying. She's more of an assassin. Film starts off with just her assassinating a bunch of people, and she's really, really at like the peak of her game. And what happens is she doesn't perform a particular assassination as requested, which requires her to assassinate a child, which is this little girl. But instead, she kills her father, and I believe that she gets decommissioned by her agency. And how they do it is they poison her with the type of plutonium, which gives her cancer or some radiation poisoning. And she's dying from radiation sickness, and she has less than 24 hours. So, in those 24 hours, with her weakening skills, she actually tries to take revenge by going after the person who planned this whole thing to happen to her. So while she does that, she actually gets caught up, intertwined basically with this young girl who she previously spared. And the little girl is actually interested in her skills and also the fact that she seems to be a strong, independent woman, which is what the story is about. And she looks up to her and she feels that she wants to be like her, which is basically an assassin killing people, because she was also raised by a bunch of assassins, and she feels that she wants to get out of her horrible world and her horrible life and be someone who can make her own decisions. And I like this relationship they had where she kind of idolizes this person and wants to be like her. However, it just felt really awkward that she seems a little too relaxed around this little girl, considering, just the grave situation that she actually is in. Like, she can be killed anytime if people send like really serious assassins against her, but it seems like she's just too, skillful. And the assassins, they show up always like in random places to come and kill her, but there's never any sort of organization or planning. There's never someone like, okay, she's here, we gotta track her, we gotta find her, we gotta kill her. Nothing like that. They just don't really know what she's doing. They just know that she's somewhere in the city, and of Japan, Tokyo or whatever, and she's like going around killing people, trying to find her way to the boss, and there's really nothing they can do about it. She also doesn't rely on any other resources. Like, she really doesn't have many friends. You don't see her doing it John Wick style, where she goes to someone and says, "Hey, you owe me a debt for saving your life or whatever. I need you to help me with this." None of that. She just basically fends for herself for most of this film. She does have one or two people who she does recognize, and I think they give her some sort of assistance, but more than often it's just her doing things and managing things by herself. And this works in her, to her, what do you call this? Basically in her way, all the way to a point where she realizes she actually has to work with this particular Japanese guy who she believes was the one who planned to kill her. This old man somewhere here, this guy. So she thought that this is the guy who planned to kill her, and he did, but he did that because her organization actually sort of gave him the order or instruction and sort of controlled them from the shadows, and that's done by Woody Harrelson, who's actually her close boss. So it's a very simple, kind of typical, I would say, spy story where the organization wants to get rid of the agent, and the agent goes after the organization, kill, kill, bang, bang, that sort of stuff. So nothing really unique to the plot except this girl, which was a little kid that's following the assassin throughout this film, surprisingly safe. for most of the parts. But yeah, mainly it's all about Mary Elizabeth Winstead kicking ass, and she's absolutely awesome. The fight scenes are really well coordinated. Now, just to be sure, let me check who actually directed this. Cedric Nicholas, I see. I'm not really familiar with this guy. Oh, I see. He did Snow White and the Huntsman. No wonder. This guy's got some pretty good visual eye, I have to say. There were some pretty interesting scenes and really cool fight scenes and cool moments. The cameras were not too shaky as I would expect from these kind of action films. Some of them don't really handle the camera movement very well. This one did it pretty decently, I would say. The music is not really great, nothing really addictive or attractive. There were some pretty cool beats that you can listen to on YouTube. I looked up some of them after the film, but other than that, it's nothing really like. It's not like Mission Impossible. You get that really cool, like Mission Impossible 5, right? Had a really cool beat song. I believe all the James Bonds, of course, have really good music. John Wick actually had one or two. Oh, actually, John Wick had some pretty cool music too. What's that? Get Down to the Victim or something? No, that's Mission Impossible. What did John Wick have? It had some other songs that was like pretty cool too. But this one doesn't really have anything big. But I guess it has to do with probably some budget restrictions in the film as well. But let me tell you, Mary Elizabeth Winstead definitely killed it. And I think this film is reasonably worth a watch because it was pretty fun, at least for me. And I think the plot is very simple, very straightforward, extremely repetitive, and unfortunately, because of that, I can't rate this very high. I'm sorry to say, it's just not going to be a film that anyone is going to be talking about in years to come. So I'm going to have to, oops, sorry, not that one. That one's a Zack Snyder Superman image that I had from for something else. Now, man, I'll get back to that for you guys. So anyway, another 3 out of 10 for me. And unfortunately, I have to keep throwing out these ratings. Normally, when I give the 3 out of 10s, it's mostly because there is decent acting, good choreography. The music wasn't good in this. There's no graphics involved, so nothing really to credit for that. There's some pretty good action scenes, but once again, there's no story, there's no context, there's no intelligence, there's nothing new for us to see in the film, and that's what we really need. We need more innovation. It's not the same thing that goes over and over again. I remember someone telling me, or rather I think I watched it, that like someone was making fun of Disney films and how they don't want to make a film that's good. They just want to make a film that's good enough so that it can sell. And I'm not looking for that. If you are looking for that, a movie that's just good enough so that you can just watch it just to shut your brain off and take your mind off things, that's great. I like to do that too. But if you ask me, is that film going to win any awards? Is that film a good movie that's going to be talked about 5, 10 years from now? No way. There's absolutely no way anyone's going to remember this movie. Let me tell you that. Like if anyone remembers it, they are either a fan of Mary or maybe like they're going to remember this for the wrong reasons. That's at least what I think it is. Like there's so many other spy movies that came and went in between that people don't really remember. Like I think even Henry Cavill, the Superman that I showed you just now, actually acted in like some spy movie last time, and I think no one really even watched it. There were some really low budget films that he actually acted in. And it's not a very bad film. Like Mission Impossible, of course, was amazing. Look at this. This is what he's known for, right? But let me tell you, there was like another in between movie that he did. Cold Light of Day. Is this the one? I think it's this. I think it's this, right? Yeah, it's this one, The Cold Light of Day. How many of you actually watched this film? Like, this was a pretty bad film, right? It's him and Bruce Willis, and you'd expect something pretty amazing from that. They even got Sigourney Weaver. These are all really pretty impressive actors. Joseph Mall, this guy's pretty good. Or Molly, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but he's pretty good too. I'm not very familiar with a lot of the other actors, but yeah, these guys are pretty top actors actually. And this movie was absolutely terrible, right? So this is one of those movies that no one is going to remember, no one's going to talk about. The Cold Light of Day. So I think this Kate is going to fall under that kind of category. But it's really cool, the Japanese neons and the culture and the way they depict the city and the cinematography of certain views. I mean, yes, Japan is beautiful. We get it. But what's your point? What are you trying to show here? Are you trying to show Japanese culture? Are you trying to show the story of a spy? Are you trying to show the story of a mentor for a girl? Because she doesn't teach that little girl anything useful, let me tell you that. She just tells her like, okay, this is a gun. This is how you shoot a gun or something like that, which is what every every spy movie teaches when they find someone else in there, like pairing up with them. Hey, this is a gun. This is how you use a gun. You teach the person how to use a gun, and that's it. And finally, they use a gun in like one amazing moment, and you're like, they did it. They did what they were told. But there's nothing intelligent about it. Like they need to have something else, a little more unique. And I think, especially when you have someone that's looking up to you as a mentor, you really got to teach them something valuable that will change or alter their life in a way that makes them better. Like this girl just sorts of ends up liking Mary because she just saves her life, and that's it. It's nothing else really. Like she absolutely hates her life and all of that. But all of a sudden, when her life gets saved, she just turns into a really, really nice person. So I think, yeah, I'm going to stick to my rating. So that's it from me for this one. If you guys haven't checked it out, I suggest you don't. But if you like just a simple movie about this girl kicking ass, well, let me tell you, Mary Elizabeth Winstead is absolutely brilliant in this film. She is a beast. She takes on a lot of people. She does, I think, most of her action by herself. If she did, I'm super impressed. Let me tell you that. So kudos to her. But unfortunately, this is not a film that we're going to remember. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.